I've realized the main problem with these Russian companies. The main problem. Giving you team loads. Giving you loads that are ridiculously fast. I just hate when you violate your hours of service. Yeah, that's what I realized. I don't remember getting loads like this with mega carriers. But these loads that they giving you a lot of loads I've got. I remember when I was with Advance, I would get a lot of loads that were like, I basically got to get 1,000 miles a day to get it there. That's what I realized this about the Russian companies. But you don't realize that till you get there and start seeing what type of loads you're getting. I should have stayed with the small guy. I was with a small guy who had about 10 trucks. He had about 10 or 20 trucks. His main problem that the reason why I liked him versus these other Chicago companies, he didn't give a fuck about the logs. You can drive as much as you want. As long as you got the load there, he didn't say shit to you. So he gave me team load. And one day he gave me an extremely fast load. I remember he gave me a load, man, it was fast as fuck. I had to get like 700-800 miles to get that bitch there. Now, what's the difference between him and Advance and Megatrans, Vance, Mega, and all the Russian companies? He gave you team loads sometimes, or really fast loads, but he didn't give a fuck about the clock. These people, and it's sad when you get with a company, when you do OTR. First of all, when you do OTR, period, with any company, it's a lot of variables. Whether you're with Warner, whether you're with any company, okay, even a mega carrier, doesn't matter. If everything is live loads, it's going to be variables, okay? It's going to be, you're going to be sitting at the dock for some hours, okay? And you're going to have to sit at the dock for some hours. You're going to deal with appointment times. So it's a lot of variables. That's why I noticed, like, man, I feel like a fuck up because you go to shippers early and they make you wait. Like today, I had a shipper. I went there early. They made me wait. Okay, that's happened to me several times before because they go by appointment only. And my appointment was like 3 hours later. So, I had to sit there. Okay, that's why y'all feel like a fuck up. Or it's no set customer, so you deal with a lot. You're going to be sitting at docks. Okay, with that in mind, you can't give people tight loads on top of OTR, everything live load. You're dealing with shippers that have appointment times. So you can't go there too early. You can't go there too late. That may slow you down. You may be at docks waiting for hours. A lot of things may slow you down dealing with all these shippers and receivers. Then he give you this 1,000 miles. My only thing about these fast loads, they give you fast loads. I really wish they was more flexible with the logs. Because if it was up to me, if you're going to write me up for violating my hours of service, I wouldn't pick no fast load, stupid. I would get less miles. Because I got to go to a shipper, get loaded, drive there. For an example, the days, pretty much at least 2 to 3 times a week, I go to 2 shippers a day. I go to a shipper in the morning to get unloaded. You don't know how long that's going to take. You could have I usually spend some of my hours driving to that first shipper. Then I got to go to that first shipper, sit and wait for them to unload me. That may take some time. Then I got to drive some more to the second shipper, go somewhere, sit and wait for them to unload me. If they go by appointment time, they may make me wait even longer because I'm there too early or whatever happens, It just is what it is. Or it may just be a waiting process, 3-4 hours. Then if it's a fucking tight load, then the tighter the load on these live loads, it makes you late to your appointment time because the load is already tight as fuck. Like when I did the Anheuser-Busch, that was a retarded load. I mean, think about it. If you understand trucking at any level, my grandma could have did better than that. If a guy go to Anheuser-Busch to pick up a load at 11 o'clock, but Anheuser-Busch takes all day to get it there, to get him loaded. He didn't get loaded till 4 o'clock that afternoon. The load has to be delivered at 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. Well, that's never going to happen. How far is the load? About 350 miles, and his clock is pretty dead? No, it ain't going to happen. He has to take a break, then he got to get up in the morning and finish driving. No, it ain't going to. So that's a stupid load anyway. Now, you can't expect somebody to deliver a load 6 o'clock the next morning unless they pick it up early in the morning. Like 7, 8 o'clock, they'll load it and ready to go. For them to turn around and have it delivered at 6 a.m. the next morning. That's fucking extremely early for the load delivery. Now, the main problem, this is the main problem. It was the main problem with Advance. It was the main problem with Megatrans. They give you loads that are just too fast. Then the only thing about that thing, this is the most important thing. The only thing about it is just that why do they give you loads that are extremely fast and don't let you violate your hours of service? So you're fucked. You're kind of fucked two ways. Because if you're late to some of these shippers, they won't unload you. I know, I've been late sometimes with Advance, with team loads. The shipper did not unload me. I sat on the load for a week. I was late with another carrier, Megatrans. Megatrans and Advance both gave me team loads, and I both sat on the load for a week because the receiver, the shipper that I was going to, did not unload me because I was late. Because I didn't get like 1,000 miles in a day. That's what it was. It was a load like that. Well, you got to get 1,000 miles in a day. Well, what type of dispatcher will give a driver, well, you got to get 1,000 miles there in a day? The Russian companies, they will do dumb shit like that. Dumb. You was better off just waiting. Like if you get loads every day, well, why would you give him this extremely fast load? You would be better off just having him sit there, wait, we'll find you something tomorrow. Something that you can do. Versus giving you a tight fucking load that you got to get 1,000 miles in a day. Then if you're late, they won't unload you. Then they make you sit on the load for a week. Like I said, that's happened to me twice. Dollar General did not unload me, and U.S. Food did not unload me. I sat on them loads for a fucking week. Now, the difference now, my previous company, this small carrier, he would give me team loads. The biggest difference in between him, he didn't give a fuck about the logs. He would give me tight loads at least a few times a week, but he didn't give a fuck about the logs. I'm just saying, if you're a dispatcher, you're a company, why are you giving me fucking tight loads? I don't understand. Then you're going to write my ass up for violating my hours of service. So I'm fucked on two ends. I'm fucked on one end because they're going to write my ass up. I may be fucked on another end because it depends on where the load is going. They may not unload your ass. If you go there late, they may not unload you. Trust me, I've been to many places late and they did not unload me. Trust me, if it's food service retail, I done got burned so many fucking times, it ain't fucking funny. I told this, I've told Advance and Megatrans this before I quit. I told my manager it's not about miles, it's about me being there on time. Because if I'm not there on time, they may not unload me. Okay? I told them that, and I think the Advance guy, I think I cussed his ass out over the phone. Like, why are you giving me these loads? Well, I don't know, they book you on extremely fast loads. On top of it being extremely fast, everything is live load. So you got to go to a shipper and get loaded and get unloaded. That may take some time, okay? That's another hiccup. When everything is live load, you already got two things against you. You may be sitting at a dock for some hours, or the customer may not take you because you're too early. That's another negative. I mean, it is what it is. Trust me, I've learned the fucking hard way. That's why when it comes to live load, to me, you need more time. You can't be a tight load when it's live load because he may have been at the shipper for 4 or 5 hours. His clock may not be clean. If he going there with a fresh clock, it'd be different. But he not going there with a fresh clock. Like, oh man, I mean, like, dude, they set you up to failure. Fuck. I fucked up. I was better off with my last guy, because at least when he gave you team loads or quick loads, I could drive as much as I want. He didn't give a fuck. That was the beautiful thing. I should have stayed with his ass. Even though he had like a dick art sometimes, but I'd rather him act like a dick versus, I would rather deal with him versus getting written up by these fucking mega carriers. He didn't give a fuck, long as she was there one time. He would reset my logs every now and then, but he didn't give a fuck about his hours service violation. Shit. You can't give a driver team loads, okay? They need to be way slower, because it's so much. You can't run your clock out either, because if you're dealing with a company that's going to write you up and dock your pay for any violation of hours of service, dude, you got to stop early. Depends on where you're at in America. You can't run your clock out. If you were a company that's not so strict, you can run your clock out. But this company, I think I violated my hours of service like 10 minutes, and they caught my ass. They even told me when I was in orientation, they dock people pay for being an hours of service violation. I'm just like, bitch. But who gives you these tight loads? Your dispatcher. I'll never forget my first week with this dumb company. My dispatcher was going to give me a weekend load that I would pick up in the afternoon that was 1,200 miles, but he wanted me to take a 34-hour reset. I'm like, nigga, I can't take no 34-hour reset on a weekend load that's 30, I can't take, that's 1,200 miles. Okay, 1,200 miles, and you want me to take a reset over the weekend? Impossible. Stupid. Do he think we can get 1,000 miles in a day? No. I don't know what's wrong with these people. What the fuck? What? I don't know what's wrong with these people. I may have to quit. I don't want to quit, but they're giving me team loads, bro. Like, goddamn. I texted my manager last week and told him, it's not about miles, it's about being there on time. I know, I've been through this before. Shit. Damn, you can't give me team loads, then write my ass up for being an hours of service violation. Like I said, you stand to get fucked on both ends. The receiver may not unload you. These Russian companies, they do not know the receivers. They don't. I've been with 2 companies. They don't know how the shippers won't unload you. Because I've been places where my manager told me to go get unloaded and the shipper rejected my ass. Twice. 2 different Russian companies. So the Russian companies don't know what the fuck they talking about. They don't know what the fuck they talking about. Like right now, I need to really stop early. I need to stop early. Right now. I need to stop early right now because you got 2.5. I need to stop early right now because I know this truck stop up here is big. God damn. And they close rest stops, like 2 rest stops that I know of, they'll close. See, it's multiple variables that come out here and they want to write your ass up. This ain't right. You can't give me team loads, then want to write me up.